Okay, 11-21, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. So our opponent... Oh, we've done virtually identical games of rapid chess, 1400 and something. Almost identical. We plays the Ross Gambit. We get this in bullet quite a lot. It's fine to take the pawn. We can just drop back when we need to. Knight up is common. Oh, he's played an early queen up. We might as well challenge for the centre and protect the knight at the same time, but we'll aim to just drop the knight back to the start point. A little bit too adventurous for a rapid game, or it should be. It should be. Okay, so the knight has got no forward jumps right now. What do I want to do? I'm going to put the bishop on the diagonal. It's a setup that we normally play for. Yeah, I get this opening quite a lot in the bullet games. You don't get it quite so much in the slow games. But like anything, if you get somebody who plays it a lot, it could be dangerous. Okay, so he's pushed the pawn forward, so he's moved the pawn a second time, but this is adequately protected, so we'll just develop the bishop and give ourselves the option to castle. There is bishop up here at some point, depending on what he does. There's also pawn up, pawn up, pawn up here. Knight here, knight here. We can play queen to d3. Can be a useful move in this general type of structure. Queen up to come this way. But obviously you can do it like this as well. So that move, slightly unusual. Here, what does he do? He goes here. Take, take, knight forward. If everything trades here though, he's got bishop down. That's a bit annoying. I'm going to play knight up and attack this pawn. I'm holding off castling for now, just in case, because I can always develop the bishop here, even trade after I've kicked him, and then just maybe queen up and trade or go queen side, but we're just giving him an initial threat to think about. Bishop down, we can just play bishop up and block, we can attack the bishop. We don't want to just commit too early and then walk into some nonsense, just in case. Just in case, so we block that there, so we create this threat again. And again, if he takes, probably take with a bishop, and then it keeps queenside castling as an option. Just get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips there. Wait, so he's grabbed the pawn. Ooh, I didn't even see that as an option actually. It must be fine to take, and then we can maybe just take here. Or take and take. It's got to be fine to take there. We've got an option to take here. But this is really weak now as well. I assume he's just going to take back. What's he thinking about? Has he got some sort of trick like knight forward? If he did that, I think we'd have to cut. Well, actually, no, did that, we could drop back. He's only really got the one move here, I think. So why is he thinking? I mean, he's 1100, so I'm obviously bearing that in mind. But if I take the knight, then the queen's under attack as well. But he could take here. And if I take queen takes, I could then just drop the bishop back. So we've got a good option to take the knight here, and then it piles the pressure on here. Right now, if I take, I can do, can't I? I can just grab this pawn. My bishop protects my knight. If he takes us here, we take back. If he grabs a pawn, we just ignore it, castle, and go after this. So that's a move. We attack the bishop. If he takes us here, our rook's guarded, we just take his bishop. So why don't I just take here? It's one of them positions where you think, I could just be missing a key move. So if he takes, I take back, and if he grabs the pawn, I can worst case just castle. So I'm going to take the pawn. I'm double attacking the bishop, I'm attacking this. My knight's protected, my king looks safe as long as there's not some weird nonsense computer trick there somewhere. As long as there isn't some sort of nonsense somewhere like, I don't know, knight down threatens mate, we go here. And the queen magically appears over here somewhere. Actually, yeah, knight down if I castle. The bishop's loose, isn't it? Ooh, so knight down. I guess I can just play pawn up. And then we close this mate threat and we'd attack the knight as well as the bishop. We might even be able to just take the bishop, allow the check and run. Yeah, if he sees a move like knight down though, then that would be a little bit on the suspicious side for an 1100 player, but... What's he looking at then? Let's just wait and find out. Then we'll try and clear our mind and think of what to do. Worst case, I can just give away a pawn. So he has gone for that checkmate threat. So bishop up I think might be good here. We don't want to be greedy going pawn grabbing here. Except if I take and he went on a dark square, I could throw a check in and trade the queen. Even if he blocks, everything would hang, but logic is go here, or maybe more importantly, go here with the bishop. And if he takes here, we can again take his bishop, but that protects and creates a threat at the same time. If he trades, then we're very happy. So let's go here. Let's not be adventurous. Not a time to be adventurous. It might be in computer language, but not in amateur player. But if he grabs the pawn, we just take his bishop. He can't take the bishop. If he takes a queen, we just take back. If he takes a bishop, the knight can take back. Or we could go for that check. I'm just a tiny bit reluctant to be castled right now, just with a lot of pressure potentially coming. But this is generally why you want to be castled early, just to get your king as safe as you can. But what's he looking at? If he trades the queen, I'd be very happy, very happy. It's only a pawn though, isn't it? 7 pawns against 6, so we're only a pawn up right now. But if he grabs our b2 pawn, we just take the bishop, or take the pawn and c6. I think he has to trade the queen in principle. I don't see any other move, but there might be one. Yeah, he has taken, so we just take back. But if he takes, we can even throw the check in and go after the rook, and we'd still attack the bishop. I guess maybe just a simple move like bishop back might be playable there, and we can always just take the knight or castle and break his pawn structure up. The main thing is king safety, but now the queens are off the board. Both kings are safer than what they were, but we've got an immediate threat there, so he's gone to try and deal with that. I think you need to go here. So now we can just take and check anyway, so that should be a losing mistake. It should be, because we've still got this check threat. Obviously you can take back either way here, but then I can still jump in with check and attack the rook. Very adventurous opening, wasn't it? Very adventurous. So he's just moved forward. He might have done a mouse slip there. He might have meant to take. I'm not sure, of course, but yeah, we're going to collect the rook now. Unless there's an actual checkmate here. I don't see one offhand. Here, check. Here, there might be a checkmate there. Depends what he does here. Here, check. Yeah, he's gone forward, so he's seen that. So check. He just runs, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't want to calculate all that out. I'm just going to take the rook. Just want to play to win the game. Doesn't matter if you miss a technical checkmate that you could have had earlier. Now we've got a nice square for the knight to come back. He might have meant to take the bishop and he's just done a mouse slip and pushed it. Might have done. But we're up, what, a rook and a bishop, so it should be good. I'll just bring the knight back. If he takes, he might get the bishop trapped. Or we can just ignore it and just castle, make sure the king's safe, get the other rook into the game. Everything should be good now. So he's played rook across to attack our knight. I think just take the bishop. Don't have to, but just simplify the position. Again, the pawn's loose, I'm aware of that. If he takes with the king, there's a check, but he can actually block it. So that's what he's done. So the check doesn't actually work because of this. He could not see it, of course, but I'm not going to play that. I'm just going to push the pawn up there. Bishop back somewhere other when we need to. And just castle. And of course, if I check now, it's easier to see this because of this pawn structure, so it's unlikely to do anything. But we just need to get forward, so we can check here and stop him running away. Again, I'm not sure it does a great deal. I guess I'll just grab this pawn then. If he comes across, we can get one out of the way with a check and then drop the other back or take another pawn. Okay, that's what he's gone for. So I'm just going to throw a check in there. Take or just come back. Everything's winning, so it doesn't really matter. If he goes here, there's a slight little trick potentially with check, and if he takes, we can have a discovered check and hit either of the pieces. So here we can even come here. Okay, there. So we can come all the way back. This is where I am trying to look for an actual checkmate. I don't see it. If he takes here, it's not a big deal, is it? We could just take this, I guess. Just take his pawn and maybe drop the bishop back. He's got to try and do his best to put his king in a position where it's a stalemate situation. So if you get your pawns locked so they can't move and put your king in a position where you're creating a potential stalemate, that's what he wants to aim for. Okay, I'll bring the king up here, threatening a check. That's what he's got to try and do, because you can always sack the rook and sack the knight easily in one move, like just knight here. Take anything, any random move. That's what you can easily do. So he's gone after our bishop. I'm just going to drop this bishop back and hit the pawn. So if he takes, we can take with check. If he takes here, we can even come back and try and trap the rook in. It doesn't really matter if we lose some pawns now. It's just finding a way to get the victory eventually. Takes, takes, takes. It's still all good. You know, as long as we don't blunder something really stupid. Okay, so he's played rook back. I'm going to check now. It gives him a chance to go here, and then we've got another check. Here we could even just go here, drive him back, I guess. Then just march all the pawns down the board. Oh, he has gone there, so we can check and win this piece now. Yeah, for the rating though, trusting the rating's accurate, which it seems to be, he's put in a decent effort. It's not easy playing someone 1,000 points high rated near enough. Doesn't matter what rating level you're playing the game at. So he's gone for an adventurous opening. You never know, it could work. You just do one mouse slip, one sloppy pre-move, and it can work. Okay, I'm just going to take the knight there. Like I said, I'm not bothered if there's a technical checkmate that I'm missing out on. I just want to find a way to win the game. But this is what he's got to do. Keep the king in a position where you can be in a stalemate situation. Then you can just sack the rook for anything. And then suddenly it's a draw. It does happen. I'll bring my king up with a view to bringing the rook across and then a check. But obviously he should move pieces before that. But he can easily sack things like the pawn here. Let's check. We're happy for him to take this one because his king would be stuck, like if he went here. Well, he's gone there now. So is there actual mate here now? Check. If he takes, that would be checkmate. So he has to go back. And that bishop's not quite in. So I think the easier way is to come up this way. I can also do that next move. But if he takes, it's a checkmate here. But he's in that situation soon. If he can just lock his pawns down, that's what you're trying to do so they can't move. There's no legal move. And then you just sack the rook in any way, shape or form. As long as you've got your king in a position where it can't move. So now I'm going to come across here. So now there is a mate in one threat on the board. But this pawn can still move. This can still move. So there's no stalemate risk right now. If the rook wanders off, there's a check here. But not an easy position to try and find a stalemate here. Not easy. He's taken, so that's just checkmate. But considering the rating gap, that's a decent effort. I gain nothing of that, and he loses nothing of that. So he's got literally nothing to lose. So let's pause so we don't accidentally start another game, and then we'll take a look. 32 moves. They're the move times for both players there. So we did the Zukador opening Ross Gambit. We get that, like I say, quite a lot in bullet chess, not so much in the slow time controls. Yeah, decent game. 94 and 84 in the accuracy. Not many mistakes, is there? Not many mistakes. So you just one mouse slip away from disaster in a lot of these games, but very adventurous opening. He's just tried to go route one direct and go straight for the checkmate. So yeah, the engine prefers me just to simply castle here. I was just a bit concerned that there could be a big attack coming, so I deliberately held off. And it was a mistake to take the pawn. So he should have just taken the knight here. He should have just taken here, and we just take back with a bishop. So taking the pawn mistake, so knight takes was good. And then here though, I should not have taken here. I should have just calmly attacked the bishop. And then bishop he should take. That's the recommended move. But if he goes back here, I could then just play the bishop here like we did. So I should not have taken that pawn there. It was still better, but I shouldn't have done it. And then in this position, he should just be taking here with the queen. And queen takes, bishop takes, king takes. And I guess if you were castled, the rook behind the knight might be a problem. But that's what he should do. It's +2 for us now. He's gone back here. So bishop up again, a slight inaccuracy. Yeah, the engine's saying it was actually fine to take here. But after king here, I didn't see a move. Maybe I just simply play bishop here, and then the queen can't take because of the pin, because the knight and the bishop would be moved. Maybe. Then we're protecting the knight, we hit the rook, we pin the queen. So we could have technically taken the pawn. I just went for safety first. Now I'm very comfortable. Then in this position, I'm assuming he's done a mouse up there. He might not have done. So you can take back either way, but at least you've gained the piece, even though your rook's going to fall. And then it's just a case of, like I said, trying to find a way to convert. Now simplify the position and eventually get some sort of checkmate. And from his point, he's going to try and put the king in a position where it's a potential stalemate, and then get rid of all the other material as much as he can, or lock the pawns down so they can't legally move. But in the end, he couldn't find it in the time by the time run down. But a good effort there, so well done.